Ooh, things are heating up. Decision times are coming. Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but haven't subscribed yet, please do so, along with turning on a notification bell. We are so close to reaching 11,000 subscribers, and I want to thank everyone who's joined the channel recently and throughout the year supporting the Knicks-Verse. It's been fantastic. I deeply appreciate it, and I just love talking Knicks, and I love sharing that with you guys and hearing back from you as well. Eventually, this channel, we are, even though I've been promising it for a long time, we are going to be taking calls through a Discord, so that'll be a lot of fun. We'll have some live shows, we'll have some guests on, so this is going to be a very active channel this season, which is going to be one of the most exciting seasons for Knicks fans in a very, very, very long time. Well, so the rumors are floating around. What's going to happen is the Knicks will be making a trade at some point in this preseason. They need to do something before October 22nd. And Bobby Marks dropped an article today on ESPN discussing just that. Let's get to it. Right here, the Knicks will make a trade for the second straight October. But unlike the Towns blockbuster last season, the trade will likely be on a smaller scale because they improved their bench in the offseason by signing Gershon to the mid-level exception. They are hard capped at the second apron. The restriction will force New York to trade either one of its draft picks from last June, Tyler Kolek or Pacome DADIET. If the goal is to retain veterans Malcolm Brogdon and Landry Shamet, despite being over the first apron, the Knicks are allowed to include cash in any trade. That's very key. And have up to 8 second-round picks available. Trading Dadiet's $2.8 million salary would allow New York to sign a 15th player during the season. And I'll get to that later more. As for a big picture approach to the roster, because New York is over the first apron, it's not allowed to use more than 100% of the traded player exception. The Knicks are also top heavy in salary. We know all this. We know this. One player to watch is Mitchell Robinson. He has been extension eligible since July and without a new contract will be an unrestricted free agent next summer. If the Knicks keep the roster intact and re-sign Robinson, New York is a projected second apron team next season. Well, I mean, I highly doubt the Knicks are looking to trade Mitch at all, especially when you see the impact he's already made in the preseason and the impact he made in the playoffs. He is most likely going to be the 5th starter on this team, joining Towns, Brunson, OG, and McCall. So I don't see him being traded unless some big deal presents itself by the trade deadline, where it could be a substantial upgrade for the Knicks somehow. I don't see the Knicks trading him. I see the Knicks holding on to him and working out a deal in the summer with Mitchell Robinson. Because you never know. The actual person who might get traded, who is part of the core, might be Josh Hart. Keep an eye on that. It might be Josh Hart, especially with the hand injury. Who knows what's happening right now? Just something to keep an eye on. He may not be traded during the season. It might happen in the offseason to open up space for the Knicks to re-sign Mitch Robinson. All right, let's get to the next thing. Let's get back to this because there's rumors also right here. According to Jake Fisher of the Stein line, he reported that Garrison Mathews is emerging as a legitimate candidate for a roster spot. So are we talking about Brogdon not making the team? Highly doubt that. Are we talking about Shamet? Him taking Shamet's spot? Because the Knicks at this point only have room to sign 2 veterans. But what if... Now watch this. Shout out to New York Basketball for tweeting this out. Key difference if Knicks trade Pacome DADIET versus Tyler Kolek. A DADIET trade, $2.85 million, can gain enough cap room not only to keep 2 vets now, e.g. Brogdon and Shamet, but also sign another vet later in the year. A Kolek trade at $2.19 million is enough to keep Brogdon and Shamet too, but that's it. They cannot sign anybody else during the season. There's no flexibility there. Why don't you trade both? I mean, it might be time. This is not the year to be spending any money and roster space on players that A, you may not believe in. B, even if you do believe in them, you just don't have the time to develop them. When you can add a guy like a Garrison Mathews, who is a three-point sniper, high volume, you can add him, and he's got great size. It might be time to cut the ties to both of these young guys. In my opinion, I believe Dadiet actually has potential in this league to be even eventually one day a starter in this league, especially if his defense develops. His three-point shot has been shaky, that's for sure. He's only made, actually he hasn't made, in the summer league, he's 0 for 6 from the three-point line. But Tyler Kolek is 0 for 5 from the three-point line. But let's listen to what Mike Brown has said about Dadiet here. Let's listen to this.
How do you value Pacome DADIET's performance overall to the 2 games?
He was solid for a young guy. I tell you what, we emphasize offensive rebounding, and he had a beautiful crash of the glass. And, he's long, he's athletic. He went up, got the ball, and he sprayed it, and we ended up knocking down a 3. He could be a monster defensively. He's just got to play with a sense of urgency defensively and an awareness every single possession. Every once in a while, he just relaxes. And when he relaxes, he's not using his length, his athleticism, and all the other attributes that he has to make him a great defender. So he's just got to stay in tune and play with a sense of urgency defensively. And then offensively, he's got to understand how to space the floor. If he's got to know when to cut, when to move up, when to slide down. But for a young guy, he had a solid 2 games.
Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that assessment. He definitely has to learn when to shoot and when to drive. That's for sure. All right, we're going to look at some of his highlights from game 1 specifically. Here we go. So here, that almost was a turnover. Takes it, he just chucks it, front rims it. He wasn't set completely, and then this happened over here, but luckily it didn't turn into points. So here he gets the rebound, just passes it up. I forgot what that play was. All right, here we go. He comes in here. Look at him crashing the glass right here. Oh no, yeah. That was a good play right there. I think the crashing the glass and the 3-point attempt was in game 2. These are only from game 1 highlights. Ooh. Here we go. That was a good look. Just didn't bury it. That one he definitely should have taken. He had the screen set for him, and he had the time. But check this one out over here. No, not this one. This, wide open. He was set. Oh, and that one he almost made. But this one here. This, he should have driven past Kelly Oubre. He should have pump faked, and driven past him. And he might have had a nice, easy play at the rim there. Or spray it out. It's one thing Brown was talking about, that the team is not spraying the ball enough, especially in game 2. They only had 1 spray out from the paint to the 3-point line 1 time in the first half. He says he wants the team as a whole to spray the ball at least 16, 17, 18 times a game. So here you can see he's all about potential, Pacome DADIET. He's got great size. I think he can be a monster defender, like Coach Brown said. Focus is important. But that's something that's easily can be adjusted. His size is great, like I said before. The key for him is the 3-point shot. If his 3-point shot was, at 38%, it would be tougher to trade him, because you could actually play him, because the Knicks don't really have too many guys 6'8" and above. Even OG is actually 6'7", but he's got a long wingspan, so he plays bigger. Mikal is also 6'7", but again, also incredibly long wingspan. The big guys on the team are Hakporty, Towns, and Mitch Robinson. who are going to get rotation minutes. Yabusele, I believe he is also 6'7", maybe 6'8". So Dadiet is actually taller than all these guys. And what if something happens? You miss OG misses some games like he did last season, and he has in years past. You're gonna need someone with his size, with Dadiet's size. So it's a tough. The Knicks are in a tough spot right now. Very tough spot. What is the right thing to do? Unfortunately, with the way the roster is constructed and where the money has been allocated on this roster, it's very top heavy, and the Knicks are in a win now mode. Boston is not going to do much this year without Jason Tatum playing all year, and Indiana's not going to repeat what they did last season without Halliburton. They're going to struggle, actually, I believe. So more so than people are predicting. That's one thing. People are thinking they're going to do. Both those teams might still get into playoffs. No. Right. Well, maybe get into the play-in, a 10th seed, 9th seed, or something like that. I mean, Boston still has a lot of quality players, so maybe they get like a 7th or 8th seed, but that's still play-in. So this is the year. You know, the Knicks are loaded. They're stacked. The new style of play, look at that, the way Mitch blocked that. The new style of play is more conducive to everyone getting touches. So that means everyone's going to be fresher and more locked into the game, sharper, shall we say. So this might be the year. Unfortunately, I would hate to see an exciting young prospect, a 20-year-old guy who's 6'8", who can shoot the three, even though we haven't seen it. I mean, he didn't shoot the three that great in Westchester last year. He didn't shoot. He hasn't made any shots here. Summer League, I can't remember exactly what his stats were, but there weren't anything that exciting in Summer League as well. So this might be the time to cut him loose. Yeah, at the G League, Westchester Knicks, he averaged 14.9 points per game, but he just shot only 40.6% from the field and only 31.9% from three. So his offensive game still has to come around, but the defense it's there, and it has great potential, though he does lose concentration, as Coach Brown says at times. All right, let's get back to this here. So, and with Kolek, I saw enough in Summer League, and even so far in games 1 and 2 in preseason to feel comfortable with training him. Now, the tricky thing is who's going to trade for him? Maybe it's 2 separate trades. Maybe we juice it with some money. I don't know. Something has to happen, as Bobby Mark said. The Knicks can add cash to a deal. So that's a big advantage, right? It's a perk. Yeah, they can include cash to any deal, and maybe attach a 2nd-round pick, and we get back a player that we're going to cut or something. But I think both guys should be traded so that this can happen. Garrison Mathews, because I don't think the Knicks should choose him over Landry Shamet, and I will show you why. So here are last season stats. Who stays, who goes. The defensive rating numbers, you can see clearly Landry is the better defender. Ironically, between the guys on the Knicks last season, Kolek was a 104.4 in defensive rating, but again, those were a lot of garbage minutes against, the other team's benches and stuff. He didn't have meaningful minutes throughout the season against the top level talents. But either way, you can see here, Landry Shamet did. And in the playoffs, Landry Shamet was so effective. What I like about him is he causes turnovers, which for a team that wants to get out and run, that's essential. A 106.5. So he is by far the better defender on this roster here of these 3 guys. And here's the other thing. Before we get back to this, let me finish this point. So here are the advanced splits throughout their careers. So you can clearly see Brogdon is last season was a 116.9 defensive rating, a 114.5 the year before that with Portland. The year with Boston was his best of the past 5 years. It was a 109.3 with Boston. Then before that with Indiana, 111.1, and the same thing the season before that, 111.1. I'm not only going to go as far as that. But you see his net rating, which is the one to the right of that. It's the column all the way to the left, is Brogdon. And the net rating, a negative net rating with Indiana both years. He had a positive with Boston, 5.1, but negative with Portland, and a terrible net rating with the Wizards, which that's to be expected. The Wizards are terrible, a minus 10.4. When you look into the middle column, Shamet, last season with us, 106.5. The year before that with Washington, a 119.2, terrible. That Washington Wizards team was terrible. It was even worse than last season's team. A 107.7 the year before that with Phoenix. And then before that with Phoenix in 2001 and 22, when he played with Mikal Bridges, he was a 102.9. And he played 69 games then. And then the season before that with Brooklyn, he was a 112.4. But look at his net ratings for the past 5 seasons. With Brooklyn, plus 1.1. With Phoenix, plus 4.9, plus 2.2. With the Wizards, he was a minus 9.9, which is still better than what Brogdon's was last season. And then with the Knicks, he was a plus 5.1. He's a plus player. He's a plus player. He's a good defender, better defender. He has active hands. Then you look at Mathews all the way to the right. Mathews last season with the Hawks had a 111.4 rating, and then the season before that had a 115.8 rating, defensive rating. A good season. He had a decent season with I think it was the Atlanta when he was with Houston and he got traded to Atlanta. With Houston, he had a 108.5 defensive rating, but still it was a minus 6.9 net rating, and he was a minus 5.9 the season before that with the Houston Rockets. And he's a minus 2.9 with the Hawks. He was a minus 4 with the Hawks in 2023, 24, and a minus 3.5. So he's a negative player. Brogdon's been a negative player the past 5 seasons. Shamet, mostly positive player. And the other thing, too, to take note of, with Mathews, this is what happened last season. He got ice cold. Ice cold. He started out the season blazing hot from the beginning of the season through the end of 2023. He was shooting almost 45% from the three-point line. But from January 1st to February 7th, he went ice cold. He shot 28.2%. And then the Hawks made a bunch of trades. And Karis LeVert got on that team and took his minutes, and Mathews only played 4 more games for the rest of the season. So that's problematic. That's problematic right there as far as I'm concerned. And when you look at Brogdon's career shooting numbers, or like the past 4 seasons, what we see here, this is last season. He shot only 28.6% from the three-point line. He shot, though, on drives 48.8%, and that's one thing. He drives. He drives a lot compared to the other two. Mathews barely ever drives. I think he drives like less than 5% of the time. Landry's more around 15% of the time, and Malcolm drives around. What does he drive around? He drove about 76% of the time. Nice. That was last season. So, but then the PU column over there, after drives to the right of it, that's pull-up jumpers, pull-up threes. For pull-up threes, Malcolm shot only 32.5%. And catch and shoot, that's catch and shoot. These are all numbers here. Catch and shoot, 35.1%. When you look at Landry Shamet's numbers, look at that. Landry shot almost 40% from 3 last season. And then in the playoffs, he really spiked up in the playoffs, did great. What did he shoot in the playoffs last year? let's see. Last year, he shot 46.7% from the three-point line in the playoffs. And then on drives, he finishes at a nice clip, 57.1%. His pull-up shot, 41% of the time he buries it. And his catch and shoot, 43% of the time. Nice. Those are very solid numbers. So even Landry's a better defender, his actual shooting efficiency numbers were clearly better last season. Then you look at Mathews. He shot 39% of his shots from the three-point line. He made 39%. He made, not shot. He completed 29.4% of his drives. He completed 30.4% of his pull-ups, which is not very good. But on catch and shoot, he did well, 40.6%. That's nice. That's a sweet number. Then you drop down to Pacome DADIET. His numbers are very painful. You can see. And the same goes for Tyler Kolek. The one thing is 37.8% off catch and shoot. That's a fairly decent number. But I don't see much in Pacome DADIET right now and Tyler Kolek in terms of, the Knicks will be making a huge mistake and keeping both, and then allowing the other three, at least one of the other three, to not make this roster right now. In Summer League, it was clear as day when these guys were on the court that unit looked really good, looked really, really solid. And we go to something else over here. Let's go back to this. The one thing, though, that I did like, actually, about him, Mathews, is he is a sniper from the corner. And I think this is also one of the things the Knicks like about him, which is probably why he's being seriously considered for a roster spot. Because in a Mike Brown offense, the corner three is pivotal. It's essential. It's what it's all about. He led the league of players who had the minimum of 50 corner threes. He led the league in shooting efficiency. He shot 58. He made 58% of those corner threes. He was number one. And look what's behind him. Isaiah Joe was number two, the champion. And he was amazing, Isaiah Joe, in several of the finals games. Then you got Seth Curry, who's always been a great sniper there. AJ Green, Malik Beasley, who had a beast of a year himself with the Pistons. Luke Kennard, Royce O'Neal. Too bad he's Phoenix. Michael Porter Jr., another former champion, 50.8%. Bryce Sensabaugh from Utah, I don't know what to say much about him, but Aaron Nesmith, finalist. So Garrison Mathews has a special talent, and in the new Knicks offense, that special talent has a lot of value. And let's look at these stats right here. Let's look at these. These are the corner three stats from Cleaning the Glass. This is Garrison Mathews stats right here. Look at that. He was 100% percentile. It's the bottom one, bottom row, corner three. It's a third from the right here. He has him at 59% because Cleaning the Glass scrubs out garbage time. Scrubs out garbage time. So that makes, and his stats went up even further. 59%, 100 percentile. The year before that with Atlanta, 48. He made 48% corner threes at 90 percentile. He did drop off in the 2022-23 season. He was in the 36 percentile there. Shot only 37% for Houston and 33% for Atlanta, but it's only 5 games right there. But the year before that with Houston, his first season in Houston, 21-22, he only made 32% of his corner threes. But his second season with the Wizards, when he played 64 games, he started 24 times. He made 52% of those corner threes for an 89 percentile. So the orange is fantastic. Blue is not. Now, so he's obviously has developed into a corner sniper after the 2 down years with Houston and then the first 5 games with Atlanta. Now we look at Shamet. Shamet, his corner threes, almost all orange, except for one season with the Clippers. And even then, he made 41% of his corner threes. That's pretty sweet right there. Last season for the Knicks, he shot 46% from the corner. The season before that, he shot 42%, 47% the season before that. So the guy is a dependable three-point shooter from the corner, and actually he's a better three-point shooter from the corner than he is above the break, and that's fine because that's where he is going to spend most of his time in a Mike Brown offense. Now you look at Brogdon. Now this is Brogdon. Also pretty decent from the corner. Mostly oranges last season didn't even register. I think what was the deal? Maybe he only attempted. Oh, it was 2 of 6. Yeah, it's not enough to warrant anything. But the year before that, he shot 46%, 80th percentile. Year before that, 43%. So these guys, you can see why the Knicks wanted to bring these guys in to compete for the last 1 to 2 roster spots on this team. They're all dependable corner three-point shooters. Garrison Mathews definitely exploded last season from the corner. However, you can see how streaky he is. Like I mentioned, he went cold in last season. The season before that, actually no, last season he went cold and lost his rotation job with the Atlanta Hawks. That also happened to him in the 2021-22 season with Houston. So he can go on he can get seriously ice cold at times for long stretches, actually. So that's a big thing to keep in mind. But this is sweet. And if he can continue that, we did see it in game 1 in the preseason. He made 3 of 4. But in game 2, he was only 1 of 4. So again, the inconsistencies, but it happens with snipers. But last season, in 830 minutes, he connected on 69 corner threes for 58%. So that was fantastic. That's pretty great. Oh, man. Yeah. Looks like these are the two that there's not enough room for at this time. Years ago, I would never have proposed anything like this at all. But this is a different kind of year. The Knicks are in a win now mode, and the Knicks need to have that depth on the roster to be able to survive the 82-game season and go deep into June. In fact, to the very last days of June. That would be the best thing. Oh, man. It's sad to see young guys go, but I think it's going to happen. And it's probably going to happen within the next 16 days. Check out the merch store. We got new hats. We got new t-shirts, new hoodies. I revamped it, and it really helps support the channel. Would really appreciate that. Go check it out. The link is in the description down below in the YouTube channel. You can see here the shirts. There's also the versions without the New York, just with the Knicks-Verse logo, which is awesome, as you can see right here. I would appreciate that tremendously. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Let's get to 11,000 subscribers, and I will see you, and drop your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about this. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go.